you push the red button, you'll see the record in there. The red button's under your thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it says REC,
Yeah, so that's what it says.
Yeah, so it's recording.
Recording now?
Yeah. Push it again, it'll
form, say 10,000 feet, and they might get a call from the base to form at 12,000 feet, and they say Angels 2, Angels 2. Or you're supposed to go down, they say Devils, 2,
What elevation would you bomb from?
My lowest mission was 10,000 feet over the coast, but the rest of them was anywhere from 25 to, I should say 20 to 33.
So that's up there.
Yeah, that was the high for an airplane then.
Yeah.
Did you ever, you were saying something a few minutes ago about looking up and seeing a plane with the bomb bay doors open.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any of your own planes
drop on another?
Yeah, drop on another airplane?
No, I never really did that, David. But I've seen many times. I'd tell them, either that or a top turret gunner,
Sure see how it could happen.
Oh, sure. And they got them old throttles forward, and this is in contrails. There's an article on the TV the other night about contrails, how they form. I've seen that so thick that they form clouds.
Yeah. Really noisy on that bomb run then, or?
Or you could hear it, the engine. Well, I better start getting my clothes on, huh?
I suppose if you only about 4:30.
Yeah. But why don't I would ask you, what would you say to your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, or your great-great-grandchildren? What have you learned that you want to tell them?
Oh, over my past years of experience,
yeah,
so forth, that being that I didn't get an education like my children did,
yeah,
and I sometimes regret it, but life was good to me. I, started working as an electrician, and always, had a good salary, good income, and it was good to me for 40-some years. So I cannot, say, going back to education, that I was deprived of something. I guess you'd say I was in the right place at the right time, to get in the union and then go from there. And I mean, a lot of it, which I didn't know, which I'd experienced on the job during the day, I'd go back and look it up at home at night or something. So as far as that, what I'd have to offer to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, which you said, but to my grandchildren right now, one of the most important assets that you can have is common sense, and that's something that your parents can give you, or teach you, I should say. And then another thing, always look on the bright side of it. You're not always going to be down in the valley, and it's through faith that you get back on the mountaintop. And then as far as education, I'd like to see all you grandchildren, get a high school and a college education, and go out into this world, and stay off of drugs, and go to work in whatever field you endeavor in. Always give it your best, and always be willing to go that extra mile. And a lot of times your father will tell you got to turn the other cheek sometimes when you're being reprimanded, by your superior or so forth. And what to my grandchildren, use good common sense, get an education, and never, just like the minister said tonight, never forget that the good Lord is looking over you, and the things that you do, always be pleasing to Him if you can make it possible. And that's the only advice that I can, It's carried me through 40-some years, so I think it would do the same for,
I need to fix stuff like that.
Joel, what do you want to ask your grandpa?
I really don't have anything.
Austin? It's
No.
okay. How about you, Mason?
I'm going to see.
Anything you want to ask him? Barb?
How you feel tonight, honey?
Well, I feel good, Barb, except voice is a little weak, and of course my ankles swelled up again. Outside of that, I feel good. I want to thank you for taking care of me this evening.
Well, my pleasure.
Would you
I
like
think you've done real good.
Mm.
Would you like to improve your education?
Me, Austin, improve my education.
Yeah.
Well, at 68 years old, I still, read and so forth, just like I read the American Renaissance of 2001, and, it was a doctor, forecaster that, made predictions and so forth. And he was telling, and he'd been 95% correct over the last 20 years, I think it was. And he was telling how our country's going to change by the year 2001. There won't be no labor unions, and farming will be on a real large scale. And it just blows my mind. Of course, to you, he mentions computers and what they're going to do with computer chips and so forth. Size of your little finger, and and it's a very good book. It's and I mean, I enjoyed reading it very much.
Hey, why won't there be no labor unions?
Huh?
Why does the book say there will be no labor
Well, I imagine that's organized labor was good in many ways. It brought the man, out of the dark, or I should say, like coal miners, for example. And them poor fellows worked, 10, 12 hours a day for practically nothing, And
Were you a member of the union pretty much all your life?
yeah, from 1945 till I retired.
Hmm.
So, and it was good to me. Of course, today I couldn't get in the union, say if I was at the same age, when I went in, because I couldn't meet the requirements yet. Before minority came into it, you had to have, be a high school graduate and graduate in the upper 50% of your class, have 4 years of math, and, so forth.
Really?
And the requirements are real rough. Well, which I wouldn't have been able to get into it because I didn't have a high school education and so forth, see. But then, see, I used to be on the apprenticeship committee, and we'd interview about 200 applicants, and then out of that we'd select, 20, 25, and but anyway, when the minority, got the international really required you to take so many minority, and it was easier for a minority to get in the union than it was for a Caucasian.
I got. No.
Excuse me.
Well, I was going to go to another subject.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was going to ask you, tell us about what Steve and Becky were like when they were kids.
Well,
The real story now. Don't gloss over the.
I gotta say, maybe it's bragging, but as far as giving the children a whipping, I've patted them on the butts, you know. But I never had a whipping. I could always do more by sitting down and talking to them, you know. And few harsh words to them would hurt them more than a whipping did. And I mean, you know, like Steve, you know, he started, when he was 5 years old, he bypassed kindergarten, you know. That's when we were in Kentucky. And of course, you know about his past and so forth, and where he's gotten to. And as far as Becky, you know, she started college, and I knew there was something wrong. And then she come to me and said that, do I have to go to college, Dad? And I said, no, you don't have to go to college. All I'm trying to do is give you something that I didn't get. And so she quit college, and I don't know what length of time it was before she went to work, you know, for Liberty Mutual. Started out as a file clerk, and within a year, you know, she was supervisor over that department. And then until she met you, of course.
What were their personalities like?
They always had good personalities.
Easy to get along with their teachers. They give.
Yeah, oh yeah. They never. They always got, you know, on what do they call it, deportment?
Honor roll.
No. Yeah, you know, behavior in school. What was it?
Citizenship.
No, something else. When I went to. Well, anyway, they always got an A or a B in it. You know?
Yeah, I guess deportment.
Yeah, that's what it was when I went to school, and so forth. Of course, well, there's a little difference between Steve and Becky. I mean, you know, me moving around so much, and you know, in schools and so forth. But being Steve, he played basketball and, you know, sports and so forth. He you know, was a little, well, I should say maybe it was easier for him to make the, you know, transition from one school to the other than it was Becky. But Becky always did well in school, and, you know, she was on that National Honor, you know, Society, and she was some queen of, what was it yet? I forget what it was.
Future homemakers.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that made me very proud that night when they thought the other one was going to be chosen. But and then she modeled at Gibson's, and I don't know if you got pictures of that or not, but it was in the newspaper. Yeah. And but they were two good kids. And I think parents are inclined, you know, to be kind of prejudiced, think that they're, you know, children and so forth, you know. But
were you ever worried about either one of them?
Oh, I've never stopped worrying. I mean, you don't quit that. You know, that's just like, you know, me and Barbara, we prayed for, you know, you folks for a safe trip, and the same with Steve and his family. And, of course, you didn't experience any bad weather where, you know, I thought about them, and I heard on TV, you know, tornado warnings that were around there and so forth, and I knew they were coming in that storm, and I just hoped that, you know, Steve or who was driving, you could judge and so forth, and it wouldn't be an accident. And then I gave thanks. They had a, you know, successful, you know, trip. So I got a lot to be thankful for, even though, you know, what I'm going through and so forth. But when I found out about it, David, I went home and made peace with the Lord and myself, and prepared myself to accept the worst. And I don't dwell on that I got cancer, but I get kind of bitter or something at times, you know, with this blood clot like in my leg, you know. But I don't, you know, there days go by that I don't even think about it, you know. And of course, at times, you know, when you talk to somebody else, it can't help but run through your mind, you know. And but anyway, the way I feel about the whole, you know, life, we're all given so many days here on this earth, and when the time comes, and you know, He'll take us. But you can speed it up by doing foolish things and so forth, you know. And, you know, being careless, or, you know, driving 100 mile an hour down the road, or go to work and abuse your body by drugs or liquor, or, you know. So, anyway, life's been good to me. And Barbara's done a wonderful job, of, you know, since coming home from the hospital and so forth. And I've gotten bitter at times. I've said some words to Barbara that I, you know, asked forgiveness for. But that kind of sums it up, David.
Does a pretty good job.
It's awful quiet all at once.
They were all getting tired.
Not me.
And
Just remember, you don't take pictures on the way.
Can't get down there.
Which one?
just sit down, you want to?
Yeah, just go ahead and sit down. Where they go?
Honored wedding party.
Sticking my finger.
You want to do that again? Replay. All right.
If anything, that's something that goes wrong more often than not.
Because I should have told Randy
I did notice one thing different though. By the time I turned looking around, like,
He just left and we pulled out behind him.
Well, I think I got you last night anyway, but
I know you did.
yeah.
Now what do you want to do?
No, just
What do you want?
say goodbye.
Okay.
Did you have a good time at the wedding last night?
Yeah. Didn't you?
Oh yeah.
It was nice.
So Dad said, the paper wasn't there, and he said, I'm going to jump on them when they come. So Ron came up,
They probably got home late because
They said, what was it, 3 o'clock, and then they went over to somebody's house for breakfast.
Jane Paxton. See, Rhonda takes care of her daughter. She goes to Marshalltown to work every morning. So she brings her daughter over here to Rhonda's at 6 o'clock every morning.
How old a girl is she?
Well, she's, she must be 10 or 11 now, maybe 12.
Hmm.
And then at 4, when she comes home, she picks her up again. So Rhonda has to see that she gets to school, has her snack after school.
Hmm.
So what do you got planned for this week? Are you going to put in your garden yet?
No.
Not going to be wet, dry enough yet?
I won't get my garden in until, and if it don't quit raining, I won't get it 15th of May.
No, really.
But that's early enough for me.
Yeah.
You mow your own lawn?
No, Rhonda does. She's got a rider. She mows this and then. Rhonda mows 8 lawns.
8 lawns. Oh.
She uses her folks' rider. And
Are they all in town?
They're all in town. So, anyway.
Oh, we really appreciated those cookies too.
Yeah,
they were good.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I make good cookies.
I said if I had a penny for every cookie, I'd
You'd be rich.
be rich. I'd have money.
That's right. You can own all Wellsburg.
Yeah, I baked a lot of cookies. I remember when we used to go to your folks. I always had to bake 3-4 kinds of cookies.
A coffee can. Yeah, I remember that.
So, anyway.
I can remember Christmas this year. All the food.
Now I can't get rid of them, but I still bake cookies for Vera. She likes sugar cookies and he likes chocolate chips, so I have to bake 2 kinds always.
How often do you go over to see them?
Not as often as I should probably, but I don't like to drive.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And it's 38 miles
Mm-hmm.
one way. So I don't go as often, but we talk every day.